Alright, let's talk about becoming a millionaire. It's a dream many of us have, right? But how do you actually get there? It's not about some secret trick or overnight success. It's about understanding a simple, yet powerful concept: the performance gap. Imagine 2 points on a line. Point A is where you are now, maybe struggling to make ends meet, or just feeling stuck in a rut. Point B is where you want to be. Financially free, living your dream life, a millionaire. The space between these 2 points is the performance gap. It's the difference between your current reality and your desired future. The guy in the video, who became a millionaire in his 20s, talks about how most people meander through life. Their paths looking like a roller coaster, going up and down, never truly reaching their destination. Millionaires, on the other hand, have a more direct path. It might not be a perfectly straight line, but it's definitely heading towards the goal. He believes the reason he bridged this gap so quickly wasn't because of talent or intelligence, but because he felt he had no other option. He wasn't book smart, didn't have any fancy degrees, and after a terrible experience with a boss, he ditched the 9-to-5 life. He made a promise to himself to get rich, and fast. He became obsessed with closing that performance gap. Here's the golden nugget. The money you make is directly related to the perceived value you provide. Think about it. The bigger the problems you solve for people, the more they're willing to pay you, and the faster you close that gap. So, how do you figure out what problems to solve? He suggests a Venn diagram exercise. You know, those overlapping circles. You need 3. Circle 1. Things you enjoy. For him, it was racing cars, flying planes, traveling, and golf. What are your passions? What gets you excited? Circle 2. Things you're good at. He listed things like having conversations, building models, leading teams, and carpentry. What are your skills? What comes naturally to you? Circle 3. Things people will pay a lot for. Consulting, building structures, and designing complex mechanics were his examples. What are the high-value skills that are in demand? Most people get stuck focusing on only one of these circles. They might pick a job they love but that barely pays the bills, or they might be good at something but find themselves overworked and underpaid. The sweet spot, what he calls the value zone, is where all 3 circles overlap. He found his value zone early by combining his love for model helicopters, his skill in building models, and the fact that people would pay for advice and products in that niche. This led him to open model shops and even design his own line of models. The mistake many people make is trying to find the perfect side hustle or business idea before figuring out their value zone. It's like putting the cart before the horse. You need to know your strengths, passions, and what the market wants first. Once you know your value zone, it's time to pick the right vehicle to get you to your millionaire destination. He uses the analogy of a motorbike with a sidecar. The motorbike is your active income vehicle. This is how you're going to make money initially. He recommends 3 options. Product-based business, like selling physical goods like his model airplanes. Content-based business, like creating YouTube videos or podcasts. Service-based business, offering a service based on your skills. He favors service-based businesses, especially when starting, because they have low startup costs and can often be done remotely. The key is to choose a service that aligns with your value zone and has the potential to earn you around $100,000 a year. The sidecar is your passive income vehicle. This is how you're going to invest and grow your wealth over time. He talks about the importance of long-term investing, not chasing get-rich-quick schemes. He uses the Trading 212 app, which sponsored part of his video, as an example, showing how you can invest in a diversified portfolio of stocks, like the S&P 500, and let it grow over time. Now, here's another common mistake: trying to juggle too many income streams at once. Gurus often preach about having 7 streams of income, but that can lead to spreading yourself too thin. You have limited resources: money, time, and energy. He suggests another exercise. List everything you do in your life, then create a pie chart showing how much money, time, and energy you allocate to each. You'll likely see that you're spreading your resources across many different areas, some of which might not be contributing to your goal of becoming a millionaire. He admits that when he was building his first business, he sacrificed his social life and his health. It wasn't healthy, but it allowed him to focus intensely on his business. He believes focus is underrated, and many people get distracted by shiny object syndrome, constantly jumping from one opportunity to the next without making real progress. He suggests identifying activities in your life that you can cut back on or eliminate to free up more resources for your main goal. In his example, he suggests cutting out things like TikTok, Xbox, and dating to free up more time, money, and energy for side hustles. Finally, he talks about the difference between obstacles and excuses. Obstacles are the real challenges you face, while excuses are the reasons you tell yourself why you can't overcome them. His obstacles were dyslexia, lack of qualifications, and a bad boss. But he didn't let those become excuses. He encourages you to ask yourself, I know I can't do this right now, but if I could, what would I do? This helps you brainstorm solutions to overcome obstacles. Lastly, he touches on the power of compounding, not just in investing but also in knowledge. He emphasizes the importance of continuous learning. Every new piece of information builds on what you already know, creating a snowball effect. Closing the performance gap won't be easy, but it's worth it. He ends with a powerful quote. If you aren't willing to make sacrifices for your dream, then your dream becomes the sacrifice.